it's now time for a review of the newspaper headlines.
All right. Thanks, Awa. And we'll start, as always, with the newspaper of record this day. On Saturday, where the lead, predictably, is about the budget. And the lead headline here says, Defense gets 5.41 trillion naira as Tinubu presents 58.18 trillion naira 2026 budget proposal. And the riders are quite illuminating because they speak to what we already discussed earlier in the program.
At length, yes.
and the riders here are saying federal government allocates 3.56 trillion to infrastructure, 3.5 trillion for education, 2.48 trillion for health. President talks tough on budget implementation, vows to enforce fiscal discipline. PDP, CUPP slam 2026 proposed spending plan. That's the lead story. It's all about the budget. You expect, of course, that the opposition parties, will pick a hole.
Which opposition party? Which one are you talking about? We don't know.
PDP with 3 governors.
Man.
And then 4 other governors somewhere.
What did you say earlier with the roof caving down on them?
On the party. I mean, it's a study how, what has happened to PDP.
Oh, it will be studied in political science classes for generations.
Absolutely. But then they should continue to speak.
Yes.
Even if it is only Seyi Makinde in Oyo State, the Zamfara man, and then the Bauchi governor with the national headquarters. Let them at least, because at a time in this country, just like, I said earlier, President Tinubu used to be called Okolomo. And by the way, his son will be installed as the Okolomo of Yoruba land today actually.
Tinubu is being installed?
Yes, Tinubu, by the Alaafin of Oyo. So let whatever remains of PDP continue to play that role.
Yeah.
As they are saying, because at the end of the day, matters of budget affect everybody. And they're saying that, the spending plan that you have here, we're not comfortable with it. If you look at the breakdown, truly, maybe there are issues here and there that people might say, the budget deficit, for example, the size of it is basically, it's frightening, And if you look at how much you spend, 15 trillion servicing debt, and then another 15 trillion to be spent on non-debt recurrent expenditure, and then the proposal for revenue generation is lower this year than last year projected, because you couldn't meet that projection. So we must, whatever is left of the PDP, must speak. Labour, speak. ABGA, if you are still a party, only one governor. NMPP, only one governor. Accord, a governor defected, so only one governor. Which one is there again? About 3 or 4 other governors. Let them at least speak. Yeah. Because of the people that they represent. But the president has done the needful. He has presented his budget. We'll continue to see the analysis of how this budget will benefit the people. But what is important, as I said, with the submissions of the president, is that he says by April next year, the silly practice of having double or triple budgets
are stacked on
overlapping
top of each other
will stop.
No more supplementary
And I think that
budget.
if President is able to do that, he will have done something very healthy, for the economy of Nigeria. On top of that lead story is political. INEC intervenes as PDP leadership crisis deepens. PDP again.
The opposition party.
Turaki Mohammed lead factions to meet Amopiton. Saraki assures peace in sight, says party won't die. Let's believe.
Saraki has tried. They've been trying with this reconciliation committee, and it just doesn't seem like things are piecing themselves together. Did you see what I did there with the piece and the piecing?
There are those that will say that if truly his heart is still in PDP and is not playing the ostrich, maybe we should believe him. But then, you know that people know things.
They do.
And they see things.
We just report on them.
Absolutely. On top of the masthead, President reads Riot Act to governors, threatens executive order on local government funds.
Well,
that's also part of the budget thing, which he did yesterday. That's also good.
Good.
And it says that give them their money. There's a law backing it up. If you fail, I will do it directly via executive order.
And it's taking so long.
That's a commander-in-chief speaking, I mean, that's how it is. Because the law provides for three tiers of government: federal, state, and local government. And the argument is that if you pay them directly, maybe more development will reach the grassroots, even though we know that there are some rogue local government chairmen who just basically will go as spending. But then that's what the law says. It's now left for the states and the individuals in those states, in those local government, to hold their local government chairs accountable.
Fair enough.
On the window, with 100 days to recapitalization deadline, 16 banks meet capital thresholds. Others in race to beat March timeline. Cardoso, our focus is ensuring orderly completion and enthroning strong banking industry.
Yeah.
If it's only 16 out of about 24 or thereabout, or 24, 25 that we have, that's a pass mark, but then, a bit of concern if others will be able to meet the March ending deadline in 2026. But then maybe that will give an opportunity for mergers and acquisitions so that the bank, can be a lot stronger. We will see. The cover picture is about what we already know. It's about the budget proposition presentation. And last but not the least, Senate confirms Mohammed Eyesan as NMDPRA and NUPRC CEOs. So we have new helmsmen, in charge of those two important oil and gas industry. And then what happened to those who left? Who
were swiftly called out and swiftly
put in their
pushed
resignations out. And then, replacements just announced.
Yeah.
Will there be EFCC and ICPC after a few people? Or will we just carry on and say, okay, we have a new helmsman in charge?
We don't know. We'll ask the Swedes.
Let's proceed. Exactly. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's this day.
Cool. Let's move over to the Punch newspaper. I'm going to task my eyesight here. Let's all follow along on there. The major headline, U.S. visa panic disrupts Dirty December. And good Lord, do we know it is Dirty December, the traffic, etc. Well, it says travelers and students.
The traffic, don't even speak about that. I mean,
so everyone is now in Nigeria for Dirty December. Travelers and students have canceled some of their trips to Nigeria. Wow. The fear of detention and visa revocation heightens. And I was just telling you about this as one of those individuals who themselves was flocking to Nigeria for Christmas and Easter. The fear of not being able to go back to school or go back to the place where you originally came from is quite deep, because we know that the Trump administration has tightened up their visa laws. No longer is a green card or a blue passport enough to keep you from the long arms of ICE and the internal the INS. So people have to be careful when they're going in and out of the border, make sure that they have their papers and their documents intact. Also making sure that they don't have any strange things on their cell phones, insulting or even suggesting anything untoward the current administration in the U.S. And of course, for all the students there, making sure that you attend class and you have your INS papers, your I-20, everything updated. This is not the time to slack off with your, students, children, kids. They can be quite lackadaisical with their with the things papers. This is not the time to do it, because it comes with drastic repercussions. But okay, so moving on to
but if Punch is saying that all these things, is disrupting Dirty December, but then Lagos is still flooded.
Can you imagine with people? Can you imagine if we weren't having this visa issue?
All the concerts are basically sold out. So
let's not talk about the hair salons and the nail salons. Everything is booked out and packed out, and the prices have tripled because now they're paying in dollars. But it seems that
I sympathize with those who are meant to come from the U.S. but can't make it.
Yeah.
We're still rolling here.
We're still rolling. Okay, let's see what else we have. Have another headline there. We have President Tinubu saying, "We will show terrorist sponsors no mercy." Says he budgets 5.41 trillion for defense and security. Once again, we hope that it goes into the right allocated pockets so that what is actually being said that will be carried out actually does get carried out. Because we were just talking about the AES and the Sahel states, and just the fact that ECOWAS countries and between Boko Haram and the bandits and the kidnappers, everyone is under pressure to keep their citizens safe. So in order to find these terrorists, you got to follow the money. So
Absolutely.
following the sponsors of such, it's a shame that it's taking us this long and this much embarrassment to try and fish them out after how long and how much destruction they have caused. But President Tinubu says that we will be showing the terrorist sponsors no mercy. So hopefully they will be following up with those individuals who have run afoul of that law.
Okay.
Let's see. Guardians of the dead, I guess double wahala for dead bodies. This is the harsh realities of Lagos cemetery workers. I mean, what a grueling job
that's
in
picking
general.
the headline from one of Fela's headlines.
But
double wahala for
Steve,
dead body.
let's be very honest. It's not most headlines in Nigeria. You can pick a Fela song and match it to it. It's
and it
not
will fit
that hard. It will fit
perfectly.
in.
Perfectly.
For the times. So,
all right, should we quickly look at, interesting cover for Saturday Telegraph and Vanguard.
Telegraph and
but
Vanguard.
let me quickly do Telegraph. Just a couple of stories here. The lead story is quite interesting. APC governors to Tinubu fish out, prosecute politicians behind insecurity. And then the diaspora Nigerians, others are saying that we'd rather pay IFS than negotiate a ransom.
Well, they have a point there.
They do have a point.
They do have a point there.
Because when you come, before it used to be that you make a little stopover in Lagos and then go to wherever you wanted to go. But these days you spend more time in Lagos, but you still go to the east or to Benin or wherever, to Ibadan. But you can't go by road, especially if you have to fly to the east.
Yeah.
700,000, 800,000, 600,000, one-way ticket. People are saying, I'd rather cough that out than go and negotiate 20 million or 30 million.
And battle with my mental health crises for the next 20 years.
For ransom. The ransom economy in Nigeria is something
booming.
That the president and the security chiefs, will have to take a major look at.
So honestly, President Trump, U.S. President Trump putting a highlight on Christian genocide, supposedly, and the timing of all of this. Was it a bit of a gift and a curse? A curse for, obviously the repercussions and all the individuals who suffered at the hands of the terrorists, but the fact that it is so much in the topic of conversation now, there's so much of a spotlight on it. We have so many headlines saying that we're going to stamp out this, we're going to do that. We have the president and all the security chiefs saying so much. Did it come from a good place?
If we said that it came from a good place earlier, but now that this visa ban, the joke that everybody is saying on social media is that,
he wants all the Christians to get killed.
Exactly.
Doesn't want to give them visas.
Why is he now denying them visas?
Yeah, they're all getting killed and there's a genocide.
But I understand that there's a caveat to it, that if you're currently holding valid US visas, you might not be directly impacted, but then you can apply for a renewal or whatever if you don't fall within the exceptions that have been granted. But, it is Trump. He has a way of changing his views here and there. For me, it will be about how our government engages with him.
Yeah.
Are we doing enough to engage with the American system, with President Donald Trump? And there are people who understand his, sentiments and excesses and, and preferences. Let's get cracking.
Yeah.
Do the needful at home, but then play the politics globally. That's what I would say. Let's spend the last 1 minute or thereabout on the cover of Saturday Vanguard. No need going into the cover. Security is Tinubu's priority in 58.18 trillion 2023 budget. We know that. But two important stories, Hawa. First is on health. Scientists discover why cancer often bounces back. I think it would be important to know. We may have an idea, blah, blah, but then when scientists are saying, we've discovered something again, maybe we should take a closer look. Yeah. And of course, African Cup of Nations begins tomorrow.
Oh, my
in
goodness.
Morocco.
We won't hear a word now.
Vanguard, by the way, the editor of the Vanguard is a brilliant sportsman, with eyes for the news. He's saying that Chile as our coach.
Yes,
you know,
yes. I know a little bit about
who was
football.
accusing somebody of using juju to deny us
I know,
to go to the World Cup.
we have to discuss the validity of some of those claims, though.
Is a Malian, isn't it? No, not Malian in the music sense. You know, it's from Mali or something. You know, there's a juju thing that they tend to. So
these are discussions that need to be had.
Chile experiments as Nations Cup begins tomorrow.
Yes.
We lost our preparatory match against Egypt or something, 2-1. But at least thankfully, what's the name of that our striker? The guy in Turkey.
I wish Aaron or AB were here. They are way more versed.
He lives not too far from me anytime it comes to Nigeria, by the way. What's his name?
Osimhen.
Hey,
I did it.
Victor Osimhen. How will we not know Victor Osimhen? Now that he's with them, he's like the team, isn't it?
He is.
Now that he's with them.
The fact that I know him means that he's definitely.
So let's hope maybe that will compensate. Maybe that will compensate for the World Cup that we are not going, or that we are trying to go through the back door, as they are saying, because they say that we are trying to get Congo disqualified because they fielded an inappropriate
goal.
Footballer.
Well,
we don't want to go to the World Cup through the back door.
No.
Let's win
legitimately.
AFCON. Legitimately. Let's win AFCON in Morocco. That beautiful country. I'm sure that those who will be going there will have a good time and they will enjoy it.
Aaron
all the
hurry
best
up and come back.
to the Super Eagles.
Yes.
And thanks, Hawa, for a beautiful morning show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
And I'm Hawa Mukan. From here, our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning. And of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye. Thank you.